Hey everyone, this is HouseGaming coming at you today with a video of what I think is some of the best tuck spots on each ship set. So we're going to get into that, but before we do, intro. Alright, so generally if you're like me and you watch some of your favorite streamers and or YouTubers, you see an amazing heist that they pull off, either for the damn yoink, stealing their Athena, or something else that they tuck on a ship and steal. And you're probably thinking to yourself, I want to try that too, but where do I tuck? Well, this video is definitely going to be for you. So this is what I think is some of the best tuck spots. As you can see right now where I'm currently at on a sloop, this is definitely one of the best tuck spots on a sloop. You kind of come over here and you use the hide emote. Definitely you want to get the hide emote. You can get it in the Pirate Emporium on the hide and seek bundle, and the hide emote should be free. And what the hide emote is versus the sleep, it doesn't show your name tag, so enemies won't be able to see you. So as you can see, I'm kind of tucked in right here, which I think is one of the best spots to tuck on a sloop. So all you do is come to this spot, make sure you have the hide emote equipped from your emote chest, click hide. And as you can see, I'm hidden in there. And with this spot too, you want to be sunk just right. There's like a little sink in here. You can feel your character getting into it. And once you kind of sink in there, as you can see, they can't see where I'm at from the top of the ship. Compared to if I didn't sneak or get into that little spot, they might be able to see me. That's definitely one of the best spots to tuck on the sloop. Other than that, you could do one obvious one, which surprisingly works, is right here at the top of the wheel. You'd be surprised how much people won't see you here. That's definitely one of my favorite spots. You can also do one which isn't bad, but it isn't great, which is right behind here, because sometimes they don't check around their map if they are looking for tuckers, so you might be able to hide in plain sight right there. Other than that, you got your basic one, which is kind of move their cannon a little bit to the one side and kind of hide in their cannon, so to speak. So that's generally a not bad one as well. And then of course you got down in here, kind of hide in between around their chests, and they might not be able to see you too, depending on if they're really looking. Next, we're going to go to the brig. That was the sloop. All right, now we're at the brig. So here's some of the best tucking spots I think that are on the brig. Although the brig I don't find has as much options as some of the other ones, as the sloop or the galleon. The galleon, I mean, it's a huge ship, so you have lots of tuck spots. But you could either tuck in the crow's nest, or one of my favorite spots, and I think one of the best spots to tuck, would be up here in the mast, because generally they're not going to see you too much. And you could even jump down to the next one, which is just right under it as well. You could do this one, which I don't think is great, but I think it's hilarious if you pull it off, is find the right spot where you could kind of like tuck right in front of them, right on the mast. I don't think this generally works too well, but if you actually pull it off, hey, good for you. And this one is actually quite funny. It's always funny when they grab the wheel and they don't notice you and piloting around, and you could see the up close view of that. But on the brig, I wouldn't recommend the wheel tuck, as I would on the sloop. The wheel tuck's pretty good, or the galleon. Of course, you got the cannon tuck too, which isn't bad on here. You could do that pretty decent with the size. You got your pillar tuck, which is definitely a lot. It's more popular on a galleon, but you could still hide in the pillar here on the brig as well too, because they don't come up here too much, only really to harpoon. And of course, if they have treasure, you could hide in the treasure. Below deck, it depends if you have the emote collection or not. If you just have the hide one, you can hide here. But I do like, if you do have the wall hide, to do the wall hide right in here, right behind the bed, behind the curtain, because it is really hard for them to see you and really notice you, especially on like first glance. They might look, be like, yep, nobody's here, and walk on. And then you got kind of the clothing chest right here. You just kind of look away a little bit, hide in that corner, and you do kind of blend in with the chest a little bit. That's what I think is some of the best spots on the brig. Of course, you could hide in behind the map here as well too. They might not notice that depending on, because I mean, there's not a lot of any barrels on this side that they really go to grab, you know what I mean? So generally when you are tucking, you want to go to the not obvious spots to where they are going to go. Like, you're not going to want to tuck where the ammo chest is here, because they'll be probably grabbing that or switching their weapons quite a bit, grabbing their cannons, wood barrels, and food barrels. So now we're going to go to the galleon. All right, we've arrived at the galleon, the biggest, baddest ship on the seas, and definitely the most fun to tuck against. Nothing like tucking against a 4-man crew, especially if they have a rowboat. Untuck, grab their Athena chest or whatever big piece of loot they have, sneak in the back, rowboat away. Nothing is like the adrenaline rush of tucking on a galleon. And here's some of my favorite spots to tuck on a galleon. One of the good spots is right here behind the wheel. You could fit in alongside here and tuck right there. Like I said on the brig, the wheel tuck is one of the most fun, especially on the galleon, because they'll be right in your face the whole time. Like, how does he not see me? That's definitely one of my favorite spots on the galleon. As well as you could get actually on this sign here. Get as close as you can here without falling. Look generally about here, and you could see I kind of blend in with that sign up here. You'd be surprised how people don't notice you in here. This is one of my favorite spots to tuck to, because let's face it, the adrenaline rush of tucking is like, how do they not see me? I'm like right here. But this is one of my favorite spots for the galleon to tuck. And then, of course, there's so many great spots and so many spots that I'm not mentioning in this video just for the length. But, of course, you got this tuck. Just make sure you find the right kind of angle, because you want your head to be in it. But right at the clothing spot, because you kind of blend in with it. It's not like they're going to really check right there. Of course, you could hide on the bed. This spot is kind of decent for a wall tuck, if you do have the wall tuck emote. The wall hide, because you could see you kind of blend in the wall, but it's not one of the best spots to do it. And of course, one of my favorite spots, depending if they have a crew that's going to cannon them or not, is right here, because if they're going to search the ship for a tucker, you're blending beautifully off the ship, so everywhere they search on the ship, they won't see you right here. You can see how well this is. Especially if you're wearing your good tuck gear, it's pretty hard to see you right here. So it's a spot I'd recommend. The only thing that's going to pull you out of the tuck is if they fight a skeleton ship or another ship and you get, of course, pelted with a cannon. That's the only disadvantage of going outside the ship like this, but you can see it's a pretty good tuck spot. Of course, you could climb the ladder here and tuck in the mast. That's a pretty popular one. And this pillar spot is always popular on the galleons, but generally they're gonna see you. And a notable mention, which is one of the most basic spots to tuck, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you want to, the captain's chair is always a good classic for a tuck. I wouldn't recommend it though. It's one of the basic spots, but anyways, that gives you a general idea of some good tuck spots. There's also tons more that I didn't mention, but at least you know what I mean. You kind of have a general idea of some really good tuck spots to get you on your journey of heist and steal, the good old pirate life for you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up and subscribe. It really goes a long way, especially with the YouTube algorithm. Please subscribe if you like the video and want to see some more Sea of Thieves content. And if you want to ask any questions about this, I do stream on Twitch live, usually Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Link in the description below. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful time tucking, and good luck on the seas.